Hey yo, what's going on guys? This is Mike Reed here and welcome back to another toy review by yours truly. So today I'm doing yet another Lego review, cause for those who haven't seen my recent trend in videos, especially in terms of Lego reviews, I really like Lego, more specifically Lego vehicles, because out of any of these building block brands out there, which I know there aren't many, especially these days, but Lego, I think, is like peak when it comes to building one-to-one replicas of automotive vehicles, whether it be like hypercars or, like the Lamborghini Sian I reviewed ages ago. Love that thing. Still think it's one of the best Lego Technic cars the brand has ever released. And that's, well, of course, I haven't yet gotten my hands on the Ferrari Daytona. I still want that, like, really bad. Even though it's stupid expensive, I want it because, like, yes. That might actually be better than the Sian, but who knows. If I ever get my hands on that, hopefully I do, then we'll talk. But for now, I want to focus on a vehicle that was released on the 1st of last month that, when it was revealed, I knew I just had to get it. So let's quickly go ahead and remove the backdrop. And let's jump right into things. So, here we have it. This is the Lego Technic Peugeot 9x8 24 hours Le Mans hybrid hypercar. Yes, I've never had a Peugeot before. Not that I would have the money to buy an actual Peugeot, but in terms of like a replica model, I've never had a Peugeot in my collection yet. And this, as you can already tell, is an absolute beast. I mean, just look at this thing. So right off the bat, we don't even start with this box. We have, of course, the 24 Hours Le Mans logo there with the Peugeot 9x8, or 9x8. And then we have of course, the actual model right there, looking very, very nice indeed. And then, of course, in the corner we do have the Lego and Technic logos. And then down here we have the 18 Plus, set number 42156. And it contains 1,775 pieces. And in terms of a retail price, I rarely ever talk about price on this channel, but this was, I believe, $200 US. So yeah, not cheap in the slightest bit. Of course, at the top as well, we do have the Lego logo there. We have the front of the vehicle looking very, very menacing indeed. Of course, we have the Peugeot logos right there, because this is officially licensed by Peugeot, of course. And of course, we have the actual size there. So spinning this thing around, I'm actually going to have to manually turn this because I don't think my turntable will actually be able to spin this whole big box around. So I'm just going to spin that around. And right here we have the, of course, Lego logo there. Once again, 24 Hours Le Mans. So you can actually see the location of Le Mans. I believe that's a place in Italy, I'm pretty sure. And it's established 1923. So you do have the back of the car there, looking very nice indeed. Of course, you get some measurements, so you can look at that. And there's an actual image right there of the real-world vehicle. Then, of course, you have another shot of the model there, looking, again, very, very nice. And, of course, right here you do have some small stats, which, of course, I will be going into more detail on this vehicle over the course of the video. And I believe on the bottom, yeah, it's just some Lego logos and legal jargon. So, with that being said, moving that box out of the way, and quickly moving the turntable out of the way, let's go ahead and roll in the actual model. So here it is. This is it. This is the Le Mans 24-hour hybrid hypercar. This is it. And I gotta say, I absolutely adore this thing with all my heart. I can't even begin to express just how nice it is to have just this nice, big, beefy car like this. And it's been a while since I've had a nice, big, beefy car that actually, I believe this took me about almost close to 2 weeks to get this built. So yeah, this was quite a long build, but a very good one regardless. So let me show you guys its features. So starting right at the front, of course, we have the awesome front profile of the vehicle right there, looking very, very menacing indeed. Now, with the headlights, and I wanted to save this little feature for last, but I guess I'll shift it over to being the first feature, is that the little pieces here used for the headlights glow in the dark. So if you shine a light at these and you turn the lights out, it looks like the front headlights actually are lighting up, which looks really, really cool. And I'm sad I won't be able to show it here on camera, but trust me, it looks incredible. Absolutely incredible. So definitely get the set for yourself if you want to see that, because even if I showed it on camera, it doesn't look nearly as good as it does in person. Just saying. So now on to, of course, the front lid here. Which has the Total Energies logo, 93 Peugeot logo there, and then of course on the little sort of mud, what do you call these? These little side skirts to the wheels here, we have the BBM Sport, what is that? Capgemini there. I believe these are real logos as well. These aren't like made up. These are like officially licensed logos here. Of course we have Hypercar HY. So you can open up the front, and inside, you can actually see the front of the vehicle there. So it does have working suspension, which I will try to demonstrate as best as I can. So I don't know if you can see that, but the little spring does flex. And this is, I believe, a new suspension piece, exclusive currently to this set. So that is super cool. You can actually see a bit of the replicated electric engine because, like I said, this is a hybrid vehicle. So it does have a electric engine, I believe, in the front, and then a petroleum engine in the back of the vehicle. So pretty impressive stuff. Especially for a brand like Peugeot, which, you know, I mean, who's heard of Peugeot outside of maybe, I don't know, like, besides maybe like gearheads or something, I think is the term. Could be wrong about that, but you know what I'm talking about. Motorheads, or whatever you want to call them. So, and it does work. So if you do push the car back and forward here, you can see the little gears in there move. So pretty nice stuff. And to close it, you just simply push it down and it rests nice like that. Spinning the car around once again, and this is going to be tricky to do because there's a lot of moving parts on this thing. A lot of moving parts. We do have the side doors, which do, in fact, I'm going to get the camera stabilized, open. So if you just pull them open, you can swing the door out, which I know isn't the coolest feature in the world, but it's still nice that they open, and there are some logos on the door, in this case, Capgemini. So you just open that. And you have the interior, which is going to be hard to show, but trust me, there is an interior in there. It's fully stickered. You do have a little seat in there, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to show. Let me see if I can get the door out far enough. So if I zoom in, you can see the Peugeot logo right there on the seat. So it is fully modeled in there. And there actually is a working steering wheel as well, if we can actually zoom in on that. So there's the steering wheel. So if I turn the gear up on top here, as you'll see, the steering wheel actually turns with the wheels. And you can actually steer the car with the steering wheel as well. And as you see, it's connected to the wheels up at the front. Let me actually zoom it back out again. So as you can see, if you steer the car left or right, the wheel and the steering wheel and the front wheels will steer as well. Now, unlike with the Lamborghini, where you risk possibly stripping the gears doing this just on the ground, with this one, the gear system is tight enough and is rigid enough to the point where you can do it just with the car sitting on the table. So that is pretty nice. So do like that. Now, shifting gears onto the back of the vehicle, of course, you have a bunch more logos with Peugeot, right? And there's the Michelin Man, and we got another sort of sticker details. Yeah, there's a lot of stickers on this set, a lot of stickers. You can see the little rear fin, and if you take the whole back section off, There is a detailed gear system here in the back. You can actually see the petrol engine back here. So this is, I believe, a V6 engine. Yep, it's a V6. And the pistons do move if you push the car back and forth. And it does have working suspension, as you can see. Now, something that I will say that is a bit, oh god, besides getting this whole back section on, can be a bit of a pain in the butt. The real car's suspension on the front is much more soft than it is. Well, the back is pretty accurate. The front, it could be a little looser. But hey, I'll still give them credit for at least making it accurate to the actual vehicle, right? And how it actually all works. So, now shifting on to the actual rear of the vehicle. You can see just how nice they replicated the very unique rear taillights. How they're kind of like these translucent fins. Of course, they're not translucent on the actual set because, you know, the set's already expensive enough. We don't need translucent parts to make it more pricey. But I do like the stickers to represent the actual sort of design of the tail lights. So that is pretty nice, and that's of course mirrored on the other side, as it should be. And then you also have the subtle little logo here on the back, which definitely reminds me oddly of the Razer logo. For those who know the Razer brand, the tech brand Razer, reminds me a lot of that, but very, very nice. And of course you have the little exhausts on the back as well, here and here. So that is pretty nice. Now, there is one sticker that I am actually hiding a bit, which of course you can see more of the logos and stuff right there. If we flip the vehicle all the way upside down, if we just lift it up, you can see there's one hidden sticker around the bottom. This is supposed to represent, I believe, where the gear shift is located on the actual full-scale model. That, and you can actually see the little spring suspension where the whole suspension mechanism works. And you can also see a little bit of how the little V6 engine works as well. And all the other various features underneath. So that is really nice. Now, I'm going to try to put this on the turntable. I'm not promising it's going to work, but quick jump cut. Let's see if I can actually get this on the turntable so you guys can see it spinning around 360 degrees. Well, I can't say I'm not pleasantly surprised. It surprisingly isn't breaking my turntable right now. So whilst the car is spinning around 360, let me quickly read you guys some facts regarding this model. Because there is quite a bit of, I guess, lore to this vehicle. So let me go ahead and quickly pull those up. Okay. Now, I will say that I did get these off of Wikipedia, so the facts may not be completely accurate, but regardless, I'm going to read them for you anyway. So, on the 13th of November 2019, Peugeot announced its return to the WEC in the iconic 24 Hours of Le Mans for 2022 in the new Hypercar category. This debut was subsequently delayed, with Peugeot stating Team Peugeot Total Energies Peugeot 9x8 hybrid hypercar will not be racing at the 2022 24 Hours of Le Mans and will instead make its racing debut in the FIA World Endurance Championship, FIA WEC, this summer. Instead, the car made its debut at the 6 Hours of Monza on the 6th of July. Succeeding the 905 and 908, the 9x8 was designed to take full advantage of the freedoms allowed by the new regulations for the hypercar category. The first area to benefit from the new regulations is the aerodynamics. Indeed, the latter allows the vehicle to have only one adjustable aerodynamic element without specifying what it should be, thus allowing Peugeot to do without the rear spoiler. So yeah, if you notice, there's no rear wing on this car. None. No rear wing, which is huge. Huge deal. Regarding the engine, the 9x8 is equipped with a 680 horsepower, 500 kilowatt, twin turbo, 2.6 liter V6, mated to a 272 horsepower, 200 kilowatt electronic motor, all assembled in a 7-speed sequential transmission gearbox. Peugeot explains the name 9x8 for several reasons. The 9 symbolizes the brand's high-performance model, the X represents all-wheel drive and electric drive technologies, and the 8 corresponds to the brand's contemporary models. Peugeot's on-track testing program kicked off last December, always at the time this was written, and has since visited Algarve International Circuit, Paul Ricard, Motorland Aragon, Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya, and Circuit de Nevers Magny Cours. Okay. With the 9x8 clocking up more than 10,000 kilometers over the course of 25 test days. Paul de Resta, Loic Duval, Mikkel Jensen, Gustavo Menezes, James Rosier, and Jean-Éric Vergne, probably butchered the pronunciations, were nominated to share the driving duties and form the crews of the 2-car entry in 2022 6 Hours of Monza, with the composition of each trio due to be confirmed at a later stage, following the conclusion of the car's testing program. The 2 Peugeot 9x8s are then set to contest the remainder of the 2022 FIA World Endurance Championship, including the 2022 6 Hours of Fuji and season finale, the 2022 8 Hours of Bahrain. So, yeah, pretty impressive vehicle, all things considered, especially coming from Peugeot, which I believe is a French brand, just like another familiar car brand, Bugatti. Or Bugatti Automobili, I think is their proper name. But still, really, really impressive stuff. So now let's go over to the tech specs, because there is quite a bit for that too. So for the Peugeot 9x8, the actual model's length is about 500, millimeters? 197 inches, 16 feet. Right, and then the width is about 82 inches, 7 feet, and the height is about 46 inches and 4 feet. The wheelbase is about 120 inches by 10 feet, and then of course the engine, as we just described, is an electric motor generator, plus a single speed reducer, 2.6 liter V6, twin turbo, mid-engined, longitudinally mounted, 4-wheel drive, Peugeot Hybrid 4 engine. And then for the electric motor, it's a Peugeot sport-conceived front-mounted separate motor generator unit on top of, or plus, a single-speed reducer. Now for the transmission of the vehicle, we have a 7-speed sequential transmission. So, pretty straightforward stuff. Now the battery is a high-density 900-volt battery, co-designed by the Peugeot Sport, Total Energies, and what is that? Saft, okay? And then the power of this car is about 680, oh god, no idea what that is. What's that, 671, what's that, base horsepower? Okay. And that's on the petrol, right, engine, or power. And then the electric power is about 268 base horsepower, so, yeah. And then combined, that's a total of 939 base horsepower. So yeah, pretty fast car, I would say. Not as fast as the Lamborghinis that are basically missiles on wheels, but still, pretty darn fast. And of course, the fuel is Total Energies fuel, and it does use Michelin brand tires. So, all in all, pretty impressive vehicle, all things considered. Now that we're done, with the info dump, that I think only like 2 people actually care about in these videos, let's actually do a size comparison. So, quick jump cut again. Okay, so now for a size comparison. Sorry for the quick jump cut. Now, do let me know in the comments if you guys want to see a proper review on this, but on this next model I'm about to bring in. But for comparison's sake, here we have the NASCAR Next Gen Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 model for comparison. So you guys can see. If we bring them up, let's see if I can actually get this one up. Nose to nose there. You guys can see, wow, pretty big model, all things considered. And also, here's my hand as well for comparison, so you guys can see just how big this thing is. This is no tiny model. This thing is big. It's not as big as the Sion that we're going to bring in here in a bit, but still pretty darn big model. And I mean, just look at the difference in the tires too. I mean, look at how big those tires are compared to these teeny tiny things. So there you have that. Now, to quickly jump cut to our next comparison. For our next comparison, let's bring in the Bugatti Bolide. So yes, yet another French supercar, or well, this is a hypercar, but you know, same idea, right? So you guys can see how big these two are together. So yeah, quite big. So, and also do let me know in the comments. I don't remember if I've done this already, but if I haven't done a review on this already, do let me know, as I do definitely want to take a look at this guy at some point as well. So now for our last comparison, and once again, jump cut. Alright, so for our last comparison, here we have my mammoth Lamborghini Sion FKP37. So you guys can see, once again, just how big this is. It's almost as big as the Sion is. It's a pretty big vehicle, all things considered. So, and I believe this one is 1/8 scale, and I can't remember how big this one is. I think it's like 1/6, 1/5. I can't remember, but it's but still very big car, all things considered. Alright guys, so with that, I think that's going to wrap it up on this review of the LEGO Technic Peugeot 9x8 24 hours Le Mans Hypercar. And I think it's safe to say this has to be one of the best LEGO Technic cars the LEGO Technic has ever put out. It's not nearly as good as the Sion, don't get me wrong, but oh my god, just the sheer presence of this muscle mother is enough to just please my little heart. And the shaping and sculpting and just especially the build process. Highly recommend getting this set if you want a real challenge in terms of a LEGO build. It was amazing, just the curves and the, you know, and there's so many different places where my expectations were just thrown out the window. It was just crazy how good this build was. But as I said, the set is a bit pricey, especially at $200 US. I mean, this is definitely no cheap set. But I think the price is definitely worth it, especially for what you get once you actually go through the mammoth build process of this set. So thank you guys so much for watching this one, and do let me know in the comments what other LEGO stuff you guys want me to review in the future. And with that, guys, later Read Squad, and have a good one.